Here in San Diego, a brush fire erupted in Rancho Bernardo today, causing quite a scare in that area. The flames triggered evacuation orders and people rushed to grab what they could and left their homes. Our Steve Price and Shannon Handy have been on scene all day, speaking with those who were forced to leave in those frantic moments while fire crews battled the flames, which fortunately tonight have been knocked down. We begin our team coverage with Steve. And Steve, we know that a drone actually got in the way of today's firefight. What have you learned about that?
So, Marcella, imagine this. You have 300 first responders out here risking their own lives to evacuate people and knock down the flames, try to save people's homes. In the air, you've got helicopters and planes dropping water, and in the middle of all the chaos, they have to stop what they're doing because someone flew a drone into the area. Videos from neighbors show the thick smoke and flames racing toward their homes around Paseo, Montenoso, and Rancho Bernardo. And then the airdrops.
Having the airplanes overhead, giving us good situational awareness, dropping the retardant and the water, it was absolutely key to the success of this.
The flames forced mandatory evacuations to more than 1,100 homes, more than 2,100 people living in the area told to get out. And then, in the middle of the madness, the planes had to stop flying because someone flew a drone over the fire.
When that happens, our air resources can't go and effectively fight that area. We actually move them away. I believe it was one of the LA fires actually had a drone hit one of the super scoopers.
A firefighting aircraft hit by a drone can cause it to crash, putting not only the lives of the crew flying in jeopardy, but also hampering the efforts of crews trying to save neighborhoods.
And that could cause homes to burn down, lives to be lost. So please, if you're near one of these incidents, do not fly drones at all, because it can actually stop and hamper our efforts.
The fire was burning in thick, dry brush and in a hard-to-reach hillside. But one thing working in firefighters' favor was light wind. They knocked down the flames in about 30 minutes, held the blaze to just 7 acres, and no structures burned.
Crews will be here for the next 4 to 6 hours at least.
Assistant Fire Chief Dan Eddy says the irony of this day isn't lost on him. A year ago, we were dealing with horrible floods. Today, we can't get a break from dry conditions, and more winds are on the way.
We're still worried about fires continuing to grow for us. My hope is we get a little bit of water this weekend. It's not going to stop things, but it'll help us a little bit because we have Santa Anas that we predict again next week.
By the way, I just checked with a fire source of mine who told me that they still don't know who was flying the drone. They've turned over the investigation to San Diego police, so they are now handling it. But so far, no arrests have been made. Not clear if they've even figured out who owns that drone. Some good news to report, though. The evacuation orders are quickly being lifted in the area. Camino Del Norte westbound actually is open. Cars have been flying by me here, which is why we've moved out of the road. But still a very scary day for a lot of folks who live in this area. And for more on that part of the story, let's check in with Shannon Handy. Shannon?
Yes, Steve, I'm here outside the at-home furniture store where evacuees were told to go. This wasn't a formal evacuation site, but rather a safe place for them to wait it out as firefighters fought that blaze. Now, evacuees have since returned to their homes, but earlier there were a lot of them waiting in this parking lot, and most of them were with pets.
We didn't think it was going to happen here. It was just very, very scary.
A lot of flames, a lot of smoke, helicopters, jets, like flying, trying to put it out.
As crews raced to put out this fast-moving fire in Rancho Bernardo today, people who live in the area were ordered to pack up what they could and leave immediately.
I mean, I was scared, obviously. Like, I didn't think it was real at first, so I just kind of ran with her, my sister, and we just checked in like, okay, let's get ready and let's leave. Let's grab the cat and, you know, just kind of straight to the point right away. This is Salem. He's in there.
Evacuees found refuge in the parking lot outside the at-home furniture store where law enforcement told them to go. The majority of them showed up with dogs and cats. Many were confused and scared by the ordeal.
She's a little freaked out. She doesn't know why we ran so fast.
Some of the evacuees said aside from their beloved pets, they were able to grab other important items, something the recent fires prepared them for.
We actually got a backpack ready. We started getting all those SDG&E messages from a couple days before. So we just got, the essentials ready. You never know what's going to happen.
Thank you.
While here, we saw Good Samaritans drop off water. Meanwhile, evacuees looked anxiously at smoke in the distance, all while waiting for updates on their phones. Then, 4 hours after the fire started, they learned they could go home. And you heard one of the evacuees talk about having that bag ready to go. If the last few weeks have been any indication, it's that a fire can break out anywhere and you need to be prepared. And one more thing, we do know there was at least one burn victim in this fire. I spoke with one of the evacuees here at the parking lot, and they say they actually saw that victim being tended to where this fire originated. They were not in a home, but more in a brush area. But we are still awaiting word tonight on that person's condition and what started this fire. Marcella?
Thanks so much, Shannon. It is another weather impact alert day. Carlene, we talked about yesterday this being extended, the red flag warning, and this is not even the worst of it.
No, it's been extended again, and so now we're going all the way into Friday morning, and also on top of that, another warning has been issued. So we're talking about Santa Ana winds still in our forecast, and the timing for the most intense winds is going to be on Thursday. So we're still dealing with strong Santa Ana winds, high fire danger in our forecast all the way through Friday morning. Now we're talking gusts upwards of about 85 miles per hour, but sustained wind speeds will also be high, about 30 to 45 miles per hour, and cannot stress this enough. Have an evacuation plan in place at a moment's notice. You might be asked, if we do start to see a fire developing in your community, to leave. We have been seeing this on again, off again throughout the week in different spots across the county. So as mentioned, the red flag warning for the inland valleys and the mountains has been extended all the way till 10 a.m. on Friday morning, and that's with low humidity values about 5 to 10%. But added to that is also a high wind warning. That goes into effect at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and will last for a 12-hour period where we are looking at some very strong winds returning. So gusts upwards of about 60 to 75 miles per hour along the coastal mountain slopes could get as high as 85 miles per hour.